Om Sahanavadu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviriyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Srimati Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrapashakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad-vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Gukarasvandhakaro Vai Rukarasvannivartakaha Andhakara Nirodhitvat Guru Vidya Vidiyate. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Verse number 22. Vigrahendriya pranaditama Vigrahendriya pranaditama Namekasat tajjadam kasat Namekasat tajjadam kasat. Vigraha indriya pranaditama Naham, I am not. Vigraha, this body made up of variety of limbs and organs. Indriya, the sense organs of perception and the organs of action. Prana, the vital force, because of which the various physiological functions in the body are possible. The mind, which includes the manaha, the feeling, emotional faculty, buddhi, the knowing, thinking faculty, chittam, the memory, ahankara, the I, thought or I notion. All of these I am not. Tamaha, even ignorance also I am not. It also needs to be said, because what there is in the deep sleep state is a matter of contention. Because in deep sleep state there is no awareness, and therefore some people say that there is no consciousness. In deep sleep state there is no consciousness or awareness at all, meaning there is no Atma. What is that? There is Shunyam. There is non-existence in the deep sleep state. So, their understanding is the whole universe emerges from non-existence and merges back into oblivion, non-existence. So call it non-existence. That's what exists in deep sleep state. So Vedantin is now the self or the Atma, the I, very much exists in the deep sleep also. We already discussed, it is true that at that time I do not have the awareness that I am. In the waking state, I have the awareness that I am. So I know that I am. You can say dream also, I know that I am. In deep sleep, I am, that awareness does not seem to be there. Does it mean that I am not? It says no. The mind which creates that specific awareness, the mind is not there. It is the mind and sense organs that enable us to know the objects and their distinctions. Just as even when I have eyes, I can see the colors and forms only when the sunlight or illuminating light is there. If there was pitch darkness in this hall, suppose all of us were present, I still could not see anything even though I have eyes, understand? The eyes are the seeing faculty, all right. But the eyes require a sahakari karanam. It requires also a supporting means such as light. So just because I do not see anything can be for two reasons. Either because I don't have eyes or my eyes, I am blind, or because there is no light outside. Hello? Just because I do not see anything, the conclusion need not be that I am blind. It could be that I am seeing and still I don't see the distinctions because the light that illumines those distinctions is not there. So Vedantin says that something like that happens in deep sleep state. In the waking state, I am able to see the distinctions or experience all names and forms. My mind and sense organs together illumine them. If the mind and sense organs are not functioning, even though I am awareness, in fact I illumine everything. But that illumination takes place through the mind and the sense organs. Meaning that I, the consciousness, first rise on the mind, gets reflected in the mind gets enlivened because of the reflection of consciousness, and that mind then goes out through sense organs such as eyes and contacts an object such as a clock, and that is how the perception of objects such as clock takes place. If this link is not there, the clock may be there, I also may be there, there is a link in between. What connects me with the clock is the mind and sense organs. The consciousness that I am illumines everything, all right, but it needs the agency of the mind and sense organs to illumine the universe. Just as electricity is energy that illumines everything, but electricity requires the agency of the bulb to manifest its light, then alone it can illumine. So what happens is, in deep sleep state, the mind and sense organs are sleeping. I am there. The consciousness is there. The world also may be there. But the mind and sense organs, which agency is required to illumine the specifics of the world. See, what is meant by darkness is, I do not have the knowledge of the specifics. The darkness covers all the distinctions. So you ask your child, hey, come on, go and see if is there in the room or not. No, Mom, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. because it's dark. When he says he does not see anything, means that he sees all right. You follow? I don't see anything because there is pitch dark. When I say I do not see anything, means my eyes are seeing. But the light that is required to see the distinctions is not there. Therefore, this fellow says, I don't see anything. I see absence of everything. You can say that also. So seeing is there. Eyes are there, but that which enables me to see the distinctions, namely light, is not there. Similarly, in the deep sleep state, eyes meaning consciousness is very much there. But that which enables me to see the distinctions of objects, there is the mind and sense organs, they are not there, therefore, in deep sleep state, there is no knowledge of distinction of things. Prajnana Gana. Upanishad says that all my knowledge all becomes lumped into prajnana. Also, that's how Vedanta demonstrates that I, the self, the consciousness, is very much there in the deep sleep state also. Even though there is no particular consciousness, the consciousness is. In pitch dark, even though I do not see the particulars of things, I see it. Similarly, in deep sleep state, even though I do not see the particulars, the fact that I see is there, consciousness is there. At that time, I, the consciousness, illumines what? Absence of everything. In the waking and the dream states, the consciousness illumines the presence of things. Deep sleep state, it illumines the absence of everything. Therefore, when I wake up in the morning, what do I say? I didn't know anything. I slept well, I did not know anything. And you can say I did not know anything, or I knew the absence of everything. When you say I don't see anything, you are seeing the absence of everything. In the morning when you say I did not know anything, means that I knew the absence of everything. So knowing consciousness is there, it is non-negatable, cannot be negated in any condition, at all times, at all places, and all conditions. It is very important. That which cannot be negated is called Sat, or Satyam. So what is the Vedantic definition of truth? Different people have different definitions of truth. Therefore, many philosophers tell us that the world is, and the world is real. How do you say world is real? Because I perceive it. It exists. So it is real. What exists must be real. So Vedanta will ask, does the world exist on its own, or does it exist with borrowed existence? Does the pot exist on its own, or the pot exists because of clay? So world does exist. But does the world possess existence? Or it displays existence by borrowed existence? The world shines also. Does the world shine on its own? Or it shines in borrowed light? The sun also shines. The moon also shines. So moon shines. Therefore, one may conclude that it is self-shining. But we know that the moon shines in borrowed light. Is it not so? Now we know. In the olden days we may not have known, but the moon shines. Just because something shines does not mean that it shines on its own. Moon shines, but it shines in borrowed light. Sun shines because it is self-effulgent. In that example. So just because something shines does not mean that it possesses illumination, shine. Similarly, world shines all right. So just because world shines, don't take it real. I'm aware of the world shines. Don't take it real because the world may very well be shining in borrowed light. So Upanishad says, Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Tameva bhantam, only when that shines, anubhati sarvam, all the shines after. So just as the moon shines in the borrowed light of sun, or reflected light of sun, so also world also shines in the reflected light of the sun. So world exists, so it is real. Does world possess its own existence, or it is borrowed existence? It reflects existence. Does it shine, or does it reflect shining? Does it exist, or does it reflect existence? The reflection also may appear to be original if you do not recognize it as a reflection. Like this man who is traveling from one village to the other, long distance. And as he is walking along, it's midday, very hot in India, tired, hungry. He wanted to rest for a while. So he looked around and he found a beautiful lake with clear water. The trees all around, very beautiful place. He was just very happy. He went to that lake. He wanted to drink some water. That's how they drink. So he bent down to drink water in his palms, and he was startled to see something in the water. What did he see? He saw a golden necklace. All his hunger, thirst, everything disappeared. Golden necklace. Look around. Nobody belongs to me. So, his dhoti etc. he tied properly and plunged into the water, dived into the water. He knew swimming. He reached the bottom of this lake, tried to catch hold of that golden necklace, but it did not quite come into his hand. Came up, again dived, again not successful. He dived a number of times, but could not retrieve that golden necklace. Tired, disappointed, he's sitting on the edge of that lake, not knowing what to do. Fortunately for him, another traveler like him comes along, and he has some hope now. So he calls this new traveler, "Hey, come. There's some secret that I want to share with you. With one precondition, that we will equally share whatever we get." What is it? The new fellow says. "Come, let me show you something. It's his golden necklace. So why didn't you take it yourself? Why did you wait from me?" That's the whole thing. I'm trying since last 1 hour. I can't seem to get it. So this newcomer was a little more intelligent fellow. He says, "Golden necklace is down there, just look up." The necklace was hanging on a branch of the tree. In clear water, it was just reflected, creating the impression that is where the necklace is. Just because something is seen does not mean it is original. It could be a reflection. So we see the world exists, the world shines. Whether it is a reflected existence or reflected shine is something to be determined. people who do not inquire thoroughly, like that first fellow, believe that the world exists, the world shines, the world is real. Vedanta says no. The world exists as though exists. The existence that you see in the world is a reflected existence. The shine that you see in the world is a reflected shine. From where? It gets reflected from where? From I the seer. I am the nature of Sat and Chit. Existence and awareness. And existence and awareness that I am gets reflected in the world. And I become deluded that world also is, I also is, I also shine, world also shines. Therefore, I take the world as real as I. So world is one reality, I am one reality. Two realities stand opposed to each other, separate from each other, mutually excluding each other, limiting each other. That's it. As this morning we discussed, that is enough to create all the problems in our life. That you are separate and I am separate. So Vedanta says no. The world doesn't have existence of its own. So asat, na meaning asat, tad jadam asat. Asat means that which appears to be sat or existing, but which in reality does not have existence of its own. We don't say the world is non-existent. We don't say the world is existent also. So third category. That's what is confusing to everybody. Because the mind is only accustomed to understand these two categories. Is and is not. But there is something which is in between. Coming back to a rope snake example, you know rope snake, not ordinary snake, rope snake. That rope snake, is it or is it not? The rope snake is or is it not? Tell me. I asked you, is or is not? That's all our intellect can recognize. That's all we are accustomed to deal with. So you ask a Vedantin, the rope snake is or is not. You see, you cannot say that it is. Why? Because it is, then it should remain even when you show a torchlight. When you show the torchlight, it disappears. Had it been there, it would remain even with the torchlight. The fact that it does not mean that you can't say it is. It is not. You can't say it is not. Had it not been there, you would not have experienced it. You experienced the rope snake, and that's why. See, the fact that you are afraid, fear, you are reacting, shows that you are seeing a rope snake. Had it not been there, you would not have been able to see it. Had it been there, it will always remain there whether dark or light. The regular snake will be there even if you show torchlight, isn't it? Then you can say snake is, but this fellow doesn't remain. So you can't say what is it? What is the test of easiness? They say all the time. But this thing, this rope snake does not remain when you show a torchlight. So you can't say it is. Can't say it is not. See, Vedanta doesn't say what it is. He doesn't say is or is not. You cannot say it is, nor can you say it is not. Had it not been there, you would not experience it. Satchet na badhyeda, asatchet na pratiyeda. Satchet na badhyeda. Had it been real, it would not have disappeared. Could not be negated. Had it not been there, it could not be experienced. So that's why it's baffling. Everybody is baffled about the world, the reality of the world. You experience it, so it is there. That's what people say. It is real. And those fellows like, oh, it is not there. Shunyam. So there are some who say the world is not there, but others who say the world is real. All confused. Sadasatyam anirvachaniyam. Therefore, asat does not mean non-existent. Asat means what? Sat vivinnam, different from sat. So world cannot be categorized as existent or non-existent. Then what is it? The Vedanta is a special word for it, mithya. What is mithya? That which can be negated. What is satyam? That, what is real? That which cannot be negated. What is mithya? That which can be negated. Non-existent thing, the question of negation does not come. Are there horns on my head? You will say no, because they have never existed. But the world is that which can be negated. What can be negated is not real. World can be negated. When I am fast asleep, there is no world for me. World has been negated by me. So what is mithya? Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya. So that's why Brahma says, I am Sat, I am Satyam, real, I cannot be negated in waking, dream, deep sleep, past, present, future. I am Sat, I am real, truth. Asat, the world, including my body, mind, sense complex, is Asat, unreal. The self must be real. Self is real. Unreal cannot be self. So body, sense organs, mind, prana, all of this is asat, and therefore does not deserve to be called self or real. So this is how, that's why we say, I am different to the body, mind, sense complex, but that is not different from me. The rope is different from the snake, but the snake is not different from the rope. No. The actor is different from the beggar, but the beggar is not different from the actor. Right? B is equal to A, but A is not equal to B. Meaning that actor is independent of the beggar. Beggar is not different from the actor. So they do not consider two entities, that's the idea. Actor plus beggar doesn't make two. What does it make? Actor plus beggar is how many? One. We need only one cup of tea for them, not two. Similarly, I plus world doesn't make two. Satyam plus mithya, rope plus snake means how many? Only one. I am Satyam, Jagat is Mithya or unreal, therefore does not constitute two. In that sense, Vedanta says there is non-duality. Even though you perceive a world in front of you, what you perceive is Mithya. You can say it is reflected, it's a reflection of the Saaram. So this is how Ramana Maharshi says, and who am I? I am Sat, I am existence, I am Chit, I am consciousness. Jagati Asat, unreal, Achit or Jadam, meaning does not shine on its own. So that is how, who am I? Sat I am, Chit I am. And Sat and Chit means Ananda also. Sat means existence, Chit means consciousness. So another question arises also in our mind. the Sat and Chit. Sat means what? Existence. Chit means awareness. So earlier verse say, who am I? I am Sat, I am Chit. What about the body, mind, sense complex? It is a Sat, a Chit. So, what is Sat and Chit only can be the self. What is the Sat and a Chit cannot be the self. The body, mind, sense complex is a Sat and a Chit, therefore is not the self. Why is this done? So that this is to help us giving up the identification with this body, mind, sense complex. Habitually, right from the birth, without being told by anybody, you taking the body to be the self, the mind to be the self, the sense organs to be the self. You take it to, then so what? Then what happens? The self therefore becomes confined to the body, mind, sense only. So how far the self exists as long as the what shall we say, as long as the boundary of the body is, so much self is. I do not exist outside the body. So thus, this is called identification of the body, mind, sense complex, or looking upon them as I, and that creates a sense of confinement or limitedness in the I. I feel limited not because I is limited, but the limitation existing in the body, mind, sense complex is taken to be my limitation. Like the actor identified with the beggar. So beggarliness that exists in the costume is superimposed upon himself and he takes himself to be a beggar. And so also the limitations existing in the body, mind, sense organs, they are superimposed upon I. And I conclude that I is limited. So this morning we discussed how all our sorrow and happiness is the result of my seeing I as a limited entity. Because I have an expectation of myself. What is my expectation of myself? That I should be limitless. No, I am born with that probably thing I am born with. On the one hand, I am born with the expectation that I should be limitless, complete. On the other hand, I am also born with the perception that I am limited, I am incomplete. So one of them is wrong. What is wrong? Vedanta says that other people would say that your expectation of yourself is not right because you are limited. Vedanta says no. Your perception that you are limited is not right because the limitedness existing in your costume of body, mind, sense complex is taken to be your limitless, superimposed upon you, and therefore you have a false notion of limitedness about you. Meaning that you don't want to become limitless. That which creates the false notion of limitedness has to be dropped, that's all. The body does not create sense of limitation. The body, prana, sense organs, prana, mind, they do not create the sense of limitation. What creates the sense of limitation? What creates the sense of limitation? Perception. What creates that perception of limitedness? The identification of the body. Taking body to be I. Body is not a problem. Mind is not a problem. Taking the body, mind, etc. to be I, that is a problem because the limitation of body, mind, etc. become as though my limitation. And I suffer from a sense of imagined limitation. But I do not know that it is imagined. So I take it to be real and I keep on suffering and struggling to become free from limitation, which is not there. So wise person also has body, mind, sense complex. He or she has also the limitations of the body. I mean, he also cannot fly. He also cannot read. He also has the same kind of limitation at the level of the body, sense organs. His eye also can be weak and his ears also can be weak and all this stuff can be there. The only difference is that he does not brand himself based on this. Even though he may say, as far as the day-to-day life is concerned, that I don't see well. But inside the distinction is clear that my eyes do not see well. If his eyes do not see well, then people will make fun of what are you talking. I do not see well. See, Ramana Maharshi used to say, this is going away. For his body, he would really pronounce this. People will be confused. This is going. What do you mean this is going? So you say, I am going. Just not to confuse people. As long as the distinction is clear to you, that the body is a costume. I am the one putting on the costume. So long it doesn't matter. The actor can very well act as a beggar and bring out real tears. There's no problem. Because the awareness of his own identity is very clear to him. It doesn't matter. Therefore, the only problem that Vedanta sees is identification what I am not. So mind becomes a problem when I identify with the mind. Vedanta says to others, like yoga, etc., look, mind is not the problem. Taking mind to be I is a problem. Then mind becomes a huge thing, always bothers me. Because every limitation of mind becomes my limitation. And then I will get rid of this mind. But Vedanta says that mind is not the problem. Taking mind to be the I is a problem. The identification of mind is a problem. She said here, Vigrahendriya, Pranadip, Tamaha, Deep, mind also I am not. That's all. Let the mind be whatever it is, I don't care. If you could say that. Then mind is stupid, okay. You are stupid, alright. You tell that person, why you are stupid. What are you calling stupid? You say you are stupid. What you mean is your mind is stupid. Since it does not identify with the mind is stupid, alright. It's like saying that Swamiji, there are holes in the clothes. Well, alright. As long as all those things belong to clothes, I don't care. If I think I am the clothes, then there are holes in me, then there is a problem. Isn't it? So the problem is one of identification. World is not a problem, mind, nothing is a problem. Everything is fine as it is and where it is. We superimpose, transfer it. From non-self to self, transfer it. Superimpose it. That is a habit born of ignorance. And therefore, this kind of viveka or discrimination is required to settle the account as to what is self and what is not self. Our account is confused. Sometimes in Indian bank, you know what happens? You deposit money in your account, goes somebody else's account. That fellow finds 10,000 rupees, he got very good. This fellow, where is my money? Similarly, what belongs to Anatma is placed in the account of Atma. The body, etc., is all Anatma, non-self, all of that is placed by us into the account of self, and then we are bothered by who is going to do with this. So just keep them in account where they belong. The body, sense, etc., is non-self. I am self, that's all. That's all the distinction required. Because self alone can be a problem if the self is limited. But you realize the limitation doesn't belong to I, it all belongs to non-I. That doesn't matter. The same problem comes when I gets connected. Even though really I is not connected to the body at all. I connected by the superimposition. I has no connection to the body. Just as actor has no connection with the beggar or no connection with his costume at all. No connection. That was the costume of the beggar does not make him a beggar. He knows it. Similarly, limitation of the body do not make the I limited. So there is no problem. But I established that oneness by my superimposition. So you don't have to remove the body. Just remove the I notion from the body. That's all. Nahameka sat, nahamekas sat. So who am I? I am Sat and Chit. What is this? A Sat and a Chit. So that account is settled. So now we come back to I. You said you are Sat and Chit. So the question sometimes arises. What is Sat and Chit? The attributes of the self? Like this flower, for example. Nice, fragrant flower, rose. It is white, small, fragrant rose. So white is the attribute of the rose. Fragrant is the attribute of the rose. Small is the small or round or whatever you want to call it, is attribute of the rose. Why? Because white can exist elsewhere also. So white is the attribute of the rose, right? Vishesham, attribute. Fragrant, because rose can be with fragrance, without fragrance also. This is fragrant rose. So fragrant is what? Attribute. Rose can be white also, red also, different colors. This is white. White is the attribute. If rose came only in white color, then white would not be called attribute. But rose comes in variety of colors. Therefore, white is the attribute. Rose comes fragrant and non-fragrant. Therefore, fragrance is the attribute. Rose comes small, large, etc. Therefore, small is the attribute. So what is Atma? Satchidananda. Who am I? Satchidananda. When we said Sat and Chit means Ananda also, Sat has no form that we discuss in the morning. Sat is boundless, Chit is boundless, therefore Sat and Chit are boundless. So Atma is boundless, Ananda. Then the question is, this Sat and Chit, are they attributes of the Atma or they are the Swarupa of the Atma? Understand the difference between the two? Swarupa means what? Inherent nature. What is attribute? An incidental quality. What is nature? Something that is inherent. Inherent and incidental. As far as the rose is concerned, the white color is incidental because it could have been red also. Fragrance is incidental because it could be without fragrance also. So Sat and Chit, are they incidental, are the attributes of the self, or they are the inherent nature of the self? Is Sat different? Sat means existence. Chit means awareness. So we said that, this morning we said, how Chit or the consciousness or I illumines the objects of the world. Then we know that the objects are like the flower is because the consciousness along with the mind riding out through the eyes illumines the object, rose, and then we say rose is. So, isness of the rose is established by being illumined by the consciousness. So it looks like consciousness illumines existence. See, if you follow what I am saying, that how do you establish that the rose is? This morning we say, oh, this is what the discussion is, there is nothing that I can do about it. Meaning that this is the level of discussion that is going on here. So, this morning we said that This flower does not have freedom to reveal its existence. The flower can reveal existence, meaning the flower can reveal that it is only when the flower is illumined by the light emerging from the eyes. What's the light? Light of consciousness. Emerging from the eyes, illumines the flower, then the flower, then only we can know flower is, isn't it? How do you know? Please tell me. Are there horns on my head? No? How do you say that? Because the light of consciousness emerging from my eyes do not illumine the horns. So horns are not. Is my head there or not? Thank God it is. Because again same light illumines the head. So we say head is. Shoulders are. Table is. Meaning that any object in the world can reveal itself only when it is illumined by consciousness. The existence of the flower is revealed when existence of flower is known only when flower is revealed by the consciousness. So looks like consciousness illumines existence. You see that? That you are. How do I know? When consciousness, that is myself, rides with the mind through the sense organs and contacts you, that's how the thought of you takes place. So I say you are. So you exist. Existence in you is illumined by the awareness. Right? Existence is illumined. So question is, if existence illumines is illumined awareness, the question is awareness there or not? Awareness is or not? If awareness is not, how can it illumine existence? So awareness exists. So what illumines existence of awareness? Little complicated question, but the existence of the flower is illumined by the awareness. Then awareness also is. So what illumines the existence of awareness? You need another awareness. If existence is illumined by awareness, and awareness is when awareness also exists, so existence of awareness also is illumined by another awareness. Does that other awareness is or not? That is, so that also exists. So that existence also must be illumined by another awareness, isn't it? If your head is not spinning, then you can think, So when that question arises, the next verse answers that question. Read verse 23. Sattvāsika chitvavekara Sattaya hiche chittaya hyaham Sattvāsika, that illumines Sat or existence. Chit kva So chit kva itara. Kva itara. So kva itara means kvetara. Chit kvetara. So chit kva itara is the it kva means where. Itara means another one. Where is the other consciousness illumining existence? Now the thing is, just to You make you require another cup of coffee. I'll ask you another question. That are Sat and Chit one or different? If Sat and Chit, I know you, when I ask a question, the answer is one, but if Sat and Chit are different, what would happen, If Sat was different and Chit was different, then what would happen? See, we saw that this body, mind, sense complex is different from Chit. So what is it? That is called Jadam, right? But different from Chit. A consciousness illumined by Chit. So it's called Jadam. So if Sat was different from Chit, Sat would be Jadam, right? And we say the rope's neck is different from Sat. So if Chit was different from Sat, then Chit will become a Sat. If Sat was different from Chit, Sat will become a Chit. If Chit was different from Sat, Chit will become Asat. Asat means Jadam, so Chit becomes Jadam. Contradiction in terms. Chit means self-awareness. Awareness becomes Jadam, means it becomes illumined by something else. Therefore, Sat has to be Chit and Chit has to be Sat. If Sat or existence was different from Chit or awareness, means awareness does not exist on its own. If it does not exist on its own, that means it requires something else, borrowed existence. Meaning that it is not real, it is unreal, because then it is mithya. That which does not enjoy its own existence is called mithya. In the clay and the pot example, we said that the pot does not enjoy its own existence. The existence of pot is due to existence of clay, so pot is mithya. So Chit did not enjoy its own existence, Chit will become what? Mithya. And if Sat was different from Chit, then Sat will become Jada. None of them would be Atma. Atma cannot be Mithya, Atma cannot be Jada. Both would be an Atma. Remember, Sat has to be Chit and Chit has to be Sat. For Sat to be Sat, it must be Chit. For Chit to be Chit, meaning for Sat to be Sat means what? For Sat to be real, non-negatable, has to be also self-shining. Otherwise, it will become negative. For Chit to be Chit, self-evolvent, it also will be self-existent. Otherwise, it would not be self-evolvent. What is self-evolvent has to be self-existent. And what is self-existent has to be self-evolvent. When you go home now, you can think about it. What is self-evolvent? That it shines on its own, which does not require anything else to illuminate. Moon is not self-evolvent, sun is self-evolvent. In that example, activity sun is also not self-evolvent, but in that example. So, the self is self-evolvent. It could not be self-evolvent had it not been self-existent. Because if it doesn't have existence of its own, then it depends on something else to make it exist. So, pot exists because of clay. Therefore, pot shines because of clay. And so, what does not exist on its own also cannot shine on its own. What cannot shine on its own cannot exist on its own. So, what exists on its own shines on its own. What shines on its own exists on its own. So Sat, which means self-existent, must also be Chit, meaning self-shining. And Chit, meaning self-shining, must be Sat, self-existent. Otherwise, there will be lots of problems. If Sat is different from Chit, it cannot be Sat. If Chit is different from Sat, it cannot be Chit. Work out this equation. If Sat is different from Chit, Chit is self-shining. Sat is different from Chit, so Sat is not self-shining. Meaning it cannot reveal itself. That means that is not self-existent. And similarly, Chit also will not be, Sat also will not be self-existent, Chit will not be self-shining. So here says Ramana Maharshi, Sattva Bhasika Chitkva Vedara. Chitkva, is it there? There is a va in between. Chitkva va itara. In this book it is not, I was getting confused. Chitkva va itara. Is there a chit other than Sat to eliminate Sat? Ramana Maharshi asked this question. How can there be chit or awareness other than Sat to eliminate the Sat? Similarly, how can there be chit, Sat other than chit to give existence to Chit? So, Satya hi Chit, Chitya hi Aham. Where Sat alone is Chit, where Chit is I. What is existence is awareness, and awareness is I. So I is Sat and Chit. Self-existing, self-awareness, self-everything. And only it can be real. So what is real must be self-existing, and what is self-existing must be self-shining. So truth must be self-existing and self-shining. Only I can be that truth. If truth is, so Vedanta didn't say that, what is Satyam? Abhaditam Satyam. You know this Swamiji's story, I must have told you earlier. Many years ago, when the Swamiji was giving some talks in Stanford. What is the topic? Self-knowledge. So, in the first lecture, Swamiji said that there is truth. And he concluded the talk by saying that I will define truth. That's where it was left. So many learned people listening to this talk, and there was a professor of physics. He came to Swami and said, Swami, you said you will define truth? Truth defined is truth defined. How do you define truth? Come tomorrow, I'll define. No, you tell me, I'll come tomorrow. I said, you won't come tomorrow if I tell you now. No, I'll come. Please give me definition of truth. Swami says, Abhaditam, that which cannot be negated is truth. So the definition is given. Say, are you right? And he comes back again next evening, half an hour before the lecture. Swami, you gave the definition of truth all right, that which cannot be negated. I thought about it. I could not sleep for the whole night. Why? Everything is negatable. You can negate everything. Negate everything means you can drive everything away from your consciousness. That's called negation. What is negation? Consciousness. Body is, consciousness is. Body is not, consciousness is. Mind is, consciousness is. Mind is not, consciousness is. This ability to drive something from our consciousness is called negation. So whole world can be negated. Everything can be negated. So you have given definition of truth, but there is no truth. Because everything can be negated. I'll come to the next. I'll come, but tell me right now. Says the one who negates cannot be negated. The negator cannot negate himself. Therefore, what is truth? That which cannot be negated. And who is that? You. So what's the truth? You are the truth. Simple teaching of Vedanta. Meaning that when you investigate, any scientist, anybody investigates what's the reality of the universe, where is the God particle, this particle, that, whatever it is, they'll keep on struggling forever. As long as you're looking for truth out there, you can never see. Because the fellow is looking for the truth, he is truth himself. The I happens to be the truth of the whole universe. Mind-boggling thing, unbelievable. That's what it is. Because you have taken for granted that you are a limited being and therefore you already, you have already discounted yourself. But you are not what you take yourself. You happen to be limitless. And therefore you are the truth of the world. So if you want to see the truth of the universe, look at yourself. But not with telescope or microscope. The tool becomes different. So that's why scientists will this all nonsense. They won't accept. They will accept only thing that can be visualized or objectified by a microscope. Very sophisticated, whatever kind of microscope there are, but what can be objectified alone will be accepted. Science only will accept that which can be objectified, which can be demonstrated. You cannot objectify yourself. So either they dismiss us. That's what they say. Somebody commented upon that movie Gurukulam. In Los Angeles it was shown. The Swami was talking this, that, but then he did not establish anything. Because to establish this you require different tools. You cannot see yourself through any telescope or microscope. Vidyataramare kena vijaneyat. So Yajnavalkya asks Maitreyi, hey Maitreyi, how can you know the knower? How can you objectify the knower? Because knower objectifies everything to know. You cannot objectify yourself. You cannot ride on your own shoulder. You cannot create a split between you of the subject and object. Because they're indivisible. There are some people who say that Atma is split. One part is object, one part is subject. All kinds of theories are there. Cannot be. Atma is partless. Therefore it cannot be split into two. It is indivisible. Undivided and indivisible. Therefore, the search for the truth, where is it ultimately culminate? Into the one who is searching for the truth. You are the truth. What is the truth? Our definition of what is the truth? That which cannot be negated. That which exists in all the three periods of time. That which always was, that which is, and that which always will be. And that must necessarily be changeless, because what is changing is perishable. So, truth must be necessarily changeless for it to be imperishable. So you are changeless, imperishable. When you recognize yourself in that way, then you recognize yourself correctly. I am already that. Not that I have to become imperishable. I have to see myself as imperishable by negating or deleting the perishable elements which are all non-separate. So we say this body, sense organs, prana, mind, all of this is what? Is inert, is mithya, is perishable, is an appearance, is not real. Recognize that fact. So that is called mithya, which can be negated. Once you recognize mithya, you can negate it. Negate it is what? I am there when it is there, I am there when it is not there also. Then you are independent, unconnected, unaffected. So this is how that inquiry. Manasantu kim margane krute. What's the nature of the mind? Hamayam kuto bodhichinmata. Where does I arise from? What's the nature of I? the inquiry was conducted. And what's the answer? The I is Sat and Chit. What is Sat? Is Chit. What is Chit? Is I. So second line of verse 23. Sattaya hi Chit, Chittaya hi Ham. What is Sat? Is Chit. What is Chit? Is I. I Sat, Chit. Or Asti Bhati Priyam. Who am I? Asti Bhati Priyam. Sat, Asti means Sat, Bhati means Chit. And what is Sat and Chit is automatically Priyam or dear. Because what is dear to me? Only limitless is dear to me. Only one thing I love in my life is limitless. I love other things hoping that is thinking is limitless. When I recognize not, then I let it go. Only thing that I love in my life is what? Limitless. I am in search of that. So what Swamiji says, man is in search of the infallible. That does not fail him. That does not disappoint him. That lives up to the trust. That's called infallible. And I'm looking for infallible. I'm looking for the limitless. Looks like this is limitless. So I love that. I find it's not. It looks like that is limitless. That is one. So that search, where will it ultimately come to an end? Close. When you recognize that infallible is I. The truth is I. What is Sat is what is Chit. What is Chit is what is I. Anything other than I cannot be Sat. Anything other than I cannot be Chit. Because I is Chit, everything else is Jadam. Says, Sat. If I is Sat, everything else is Asat. Na hameka Sat, tad Jadam yasat. Tad Jadam. Aham Chit, Tadasat, Aham Sat. And so, call it Sat, call it Satyam. Satyam Jnanavantam. The same as. So that is why my love is for the limitless. And only when I recognize that limitless is I, that is when my search will be over. And that can happen only when I stop wandering and looking everywhere else, because whatever is limited. So recognizing that what is all limited, whatever I objectify is limited, it cannot be what I am searching for. Let it go, let's go Vairagya. Nor I expect the limitlessness from them. Doesn't mean I hate them, you can still love them. No expectation, that should be limitless. When that expectation is not that, they will not engage your mind. What engages my mind is that from which I have some expectation. With no expectation, they will not engage my mind. They will not distract my mind. That's why the mind becomes inward looking. It's called Vairagya. So you need that inward looking mind, which is able to then, with the help of the teaching, let go. Oh, this is the body, I am not. Because that body does not satisfy the criterion of I. What should be I? Sat and Chit. Body is not Sat. It is Asat. It is not Chit. Achit or Jadam. Jadam is same as Achit. Sense organ is not Sat. Not Chit. Prana, mind. So you look at one by one. They are not Sat and Chit. Meaning that they do not satisfy the criteria of being I. So they are not I. So let go. Identification. Become free from identification. And then you see that you are the Parama Purna Sat. As the Ramamachi said, you are Parama, limitless, Purna, complete Sat, existence of truth. So up to this verse, that inquiry or deliberation upon the true nature of I has been conducted. But Vedanta is not complete by just knowing I. Something else also has to be known. So that will begin now from the next verse. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.